to the show, everybody. I said welcome. You know what? We've been on the show now for over 30 minutes, and guess what? I was a little bit verklempt, and that's what I said. But that's what's so great about having a live show. Okay, my next guest, everybody, is Brad Tate, and he's with Nexa Mortgage. Welcome to the show. We're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to be sharing the show in just a little bit. Brad, tell us a little bit about you. I was on your website, and I got to know you a little bit more than the first time, and I want you to talk a little bit about you, how long you've been doing this, and what's going on in the mortgage world right now.
Well, thank you, Carol. It's great to be back. I've been in the mortgage industry since about 1996. I did take some time off after the great crash, but it kind of became my calling. I can't imagine what else I would be doing if I wasn't doing mortgages. So
really, and why is that? Why do you love it so much?
I don't know. I just know that anytime I've been away from it, it's always what I'm looking back to. Like I say, after the great crash, there wasn't a lot of opportunity for people in the mortgage industry that weren't already established, so I went out and did everything that I found I should never do. I might be a good consumer of those products, but I wasn't a good producer, and the interest was always there. The financial interest, the numbers, what's happening in the real estate environment, the mortgage market, all of it just always captivated my interest.
Well, let's talk about the mortgage environment right now.
Let's do
because
that.
it is pretty crazy out there. I mean, could it get any lower?
I don't know. I mean, lower, possibly, everything that's going on in the environment as far as rates, what's happening, what's affecting those, also what's happening with real estate and just the inability for people, because of the low supply of homes, it makes it a very interesting market to be in.
Well, we're going to go down into some of them today. I like the way that you have your questions here. First of all, I want to say that anybody that you might want to upsize your home, you might be buying a new home. Is it a good time right now, before we go here, is it a good time? Because, we're dealing with the COVID and all that stuff. It's not 100% over. Is it still a good time right now to buy?
I think now is the best time to buy. And for the reason that I would say that, interest rates are still at historic lows. You're not going to see these kind of rates forever. But the other great thing about it is, by getting into the housing market and buying a home now, you're getting in while the market is moving up. There is a glut of demand and not anywhere close to the supply, so that just means the prices and values are going to continue to rise. Take advantage of that now. Let that equity work to make you wealthier in the future.
And, wealthier. Maybe you are an investor. A lot of people, maybe you've been thinking about it. What a great time to do it right now, obviously. But even if you just are moving here, maybe you're moving in here, or you want to buy a home. You've never had a home. It's a great thing to own your own home. Now is the best time. What types of low down payment programs are available?
Well, there are a plethora of them for the veterans. They can get in with no money down. Essentially, just get in with their closing costs. And if you're a veteran, oftentimes I ask people if they're a veteran, and they don't even realize that if you've served in any capacity with the armed forces, it's not a veteran of a foreign war. Have you served with the armed forces? If you did, you probably have truly one of the best programs available for people to buy a home.
And maybe it's you, or maybe you're living with somebody that is, right? It just takes one, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And so there's a lot of reasons to give him a call. Now, when you work with people, you work statewide. You're not just local, it's completely statewide. And when people call you, do you do free consultations with them? How does it look?
Absolutely. I do free consultations. I'll go over their credit with them. If they are having some credit challenges, I'll work with them. If it's beyond the scope of the regular scope of a loan officer in normal credit challenges, I've got several credit repair agencies that I work with that are very professional, very quick to help people improve their credit so that they can get into the home
I'm going to talk
process.
about that in a minute. Her phone number to call is 602-510-6297. His website is Bradley Tate mortgagelender.com. I say have a conversation with him, especially I think a lot of people don't realize that their credit may not be as bad as they think, or there might be something very simple that they can do to bring that up just enough to get them where they want to be?
Absolutely, it's a good point. Very often, they may be looking at credit or credit challenges from their past that can be quickly fixed with a credit repair specialist, or even myself in knowing some things about credit, which would allow them to use some FHA products. We were talking earlier about the VA product and helping people get products or get homes with little down. There are actually down payment assistance programs affiliated with FHA, even conventional lending, that will allow you to do that too. And if you can do just the few things that you may need to do to improve your credit, you're now able to buy a home. Instead of making somebody else rich by paying their mortgage, you can pay your own and gain that equity.
That phone number to call is 602-510-6297. He works statewide. He does free consultations, and his website is Bradley Tate mortgagelender.com. So then how difficult are these programs to qualify for?
Really, as we just said, it's not as difficult as many people think. For FHA, I mean, you will have to have a few trade lines. Just being able to control your credit and show that you're credit worthy could be as low as a 620 credit score to get into some of the down payment assistance programs.
I think that what's really important is when you're listening to this show and you're hearing this information is take advantage of it. You know, have a phone call with somebody that's going to do a free consultation and find out what's out there that you may not know about. A lot of people try and do so much on their own today, you know, with going on Dr. Google. I do it too, you know, I'm
Sure.
not one that doesn't do anything like that, but the problem is that there's either too much information out there, or which makes it even harder to understand, right? Or you're not going to get the right information. You have to go to a professional, which we mentioned earlier today.
Right. I really do believe that a person is best served when they come to me for that free consultation. Let's pull your credit. Let's look at what is truly there. It's great to look at Credit Karma. It's great to do Google and find out what it's going to be, but let the professional help you. It doesn't cost you anything but a few minutes of your time to find out what's there and find out the steps to really get you to where you want to be.
602-510-6297. He does free consultations. He works statewide. Website is Bradley Tate mortgagelender.com. Okay, then what are the differences, you know, between some of these programs for a borrower?
Well, we talked earlier, VA just automatically is set up with the ability to do a no down payment where you get in with just your closing costs. Just being eligible with those benefits will help you there. Other people that may be credit challenged, let's say they've had a bankruptcy in their past. With 3 years out of that bankruptcy, they can qualify for FHA financing that will allow them to get in with 3.5% down. And if they do need help with the down payment, there may be down payment programs that again will get you 100% of the financing where you come in with your closing costs.
Just to want to ask you, so you mentioned VA, right?
Right.
But what about teachers? There are teachers. Are there programs for any of them? Are there programs for people who are, let's say, sole proprietors?
There are. For down payment assistance, the self-employed business people may not necessarily find those as easy as others, depending on how they write up on their taxes. But there are programs that specifically give better benefits for teachers, for law enforcement officers, and first responders. If you're in one of those groups, you need to come and talk or call me. Find a way for us to have that conversation to see how we can best help you become a homeowner.
That number again, it's 602-510-6297. He does free consultations. He works statewide. His website is bradleytatemortgagelender.com. And I brought that up for a reason, because I heard a while back, it's got to be a little bit while now, but my daughter happens to be a teacher, and one of course a lot of her friends are, who did get into a home and got it done that way. So there are so many ways now, and if you are or know someone and you hear this, maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know, tell them about them and have this conversation. You might just be incredibly pleasantly surprised. Don't worry so much about your credit. Today, everybody's got a story. You got to start off with that, and they can help. This is a professional that can help you in those areas. 602-510-6297. Hang tight. We're going to be back in just a minute. So you see the difference between the other two.
Absolutely.
Lot better, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep on kind of going here, but you could see how I can get you unbelievably tight and
Yep.
narrow. And I would love to even possibly open it up to the audience, maybe even possibly, get something like, we've done giveaways of things like, a Starbucks card, because he wants us to talk to you about your
Sure.
options. One time I did something, I'll tell you at the break, with somebody we worked together for 5 years during the crash. I think it's another time for people to have, you can listen to me afterwards and I'll
Yeah.
explain something how we can do this, that you might really enjoy, something a little different, another way of doing something. We did
Okay.
it for a long time
Yeah.
with somebody, so I'll tell you about that.
Excellent.
What's going on? Did you take some pictures
I did.
already?
Mhm.
It's done. It's done.
I
It's done.
didn't. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
different, completely different. Now,
Actually, I took more video.
normally, you would be here on Tuesdays, not necessarily today, just so that she was in town again. You're leaving again when?
Wednesday
Yeah,
morning.
so she'll be gone and then coming back when?
Well, I was planning on coming back in May, but I'm gonna try to work with my sister and I are kind of putting together the schedule. So
Mhm.
I'm thinking now it's looking more like June.
Okay,
So
okay, so until whatever, but then it'll be a set deal, you know?
And you can expect to see this all the time.
Mhm.
And normally I won't be late, but I had to stop and get gas. Sorry about that. I hate it, and I hate when I'm being late too.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to have to get gas, but I was able to make it. But could say some good things are at the gas station, couple
Yeah.
blocks
Just
up
a
the
block
road.
or two, yeah.
Wasn't paying attention last night, so.
Carol, don't be mad. This one's funny.
Wait, did you get another stupid one?
I know it's funny. It's actually, I think it's adorable. You
We
might
think
not.
it's funny. You think it's stupid.
I know.
I'll just ask for forgiveness later.
Here we go. So welcome back, everyone. We are talking with Bradley Tate, and he is a mortgage lender, and we've been talking a little bit about some of the different programs that they have out there for people. Right now, one of the best times to buy, invest, get involved with this crazy market that we're having. Houses are going so fast. That's incredible with what's going on with that. So that's why it's really good to know what you're doing, plan ahead, right?
Exactly. With the supply of the market being so low and houses moving quickly, take the opportunity to talk to a professional like myself to get yourself pre-qualified, know what you're getting into, know what you can qualify for, and what it's going to take to get that loan, so that once you find the house that you love, you get your contract accepted, that the process goes smooth.
So what is the first thing what can they do to make it go smoother?
Well, the best thing they can do is be prepared. First, make sure that they talk to the credit professional, mortgage person like myself that can get them pre-qualified, but have your documents ready. It can be a difficult process or a painful process if it's not done in an orderly fashion. It seems like Inspector Columbo's
What
coming
documents?
back.
What
Well,
do they need?
For instance, I mean, make sure that you've got your pay stubs. Make sure that you've got your W-2s. Make sure you've got bank statements or your source of down payment ironed out, where it's going to be coming from. That way, that mortgage professional, I or my processor won't be calling saying, "Oh, sir, oh, ma'am, one more thing." Let's get it all up front. Be prepared for that all up front. When the contract is signed, sealed and delivered. Now we're looking for title, insurance, and the appraisal, and the system or the process itself goes much smoother.
And it's a free consultation. You work
Absolutely.
statewide, and your website is Bradley's Tate mortgagelender.com. His phone number is 602-510-6297. What a great time to get involved with this crazy market right now. It's the best time for everybody. And whether or not you're a first time, maybe you want to invest, maybe you want to do something like that. First time home buyer, maybe you want to, like you said to me earlier, downsize, upsize, whatever it is. You know, a lot of people right now are, we're not just staying stagnant.
Right.
That's for sure.
No, and like you were saying, I mean, if you're an investor, there are great programs that will help you get in to help you grow your portfolio of homes. If you're a first-time home buyer, down payment assistance, and so many programs that are built to help you. Veterans, please use that because it truly is the best program out there, built to protect you and get you the best rates. Help you become a homeowner.
But I don't think people realize though that teachers and first responders, they too can get help as well.
Absolutely, that increased benefit from a number of the home or the down payment assistance programs are available.
Any help is great help, right?
Exactly. We appreciate everything you do for your communities. Let's help you feel that value.
Is there an important difference in the different programs?
There actually is. Right now, with everything that's going on, it is a seller's market. There's no other way to say that. And the sellers are now being able to kind of dictate what kind of financing or purchase there's going to be. There are people that are saying they only want cash buyers. We've got people from out of state that have found out how wonderful our state of Arizona is in the cost of living and just the benefit of 300 days of sunlight a year. So they're coming. But some of them will say only conventional, or only cash buyers, but there are others that will specify whether or not they will accept FHA loans or only conventional. Knowing the difference and having a professional like myself help you get approved for the conventional loan or the FHA loan, the ones that will work for that seller is very important.
602-510-6297. Call him. It's a free consultation and find out the information. You're very informative. So you've been doing this for a long time. You've got a lot of experience under your belt.
Well, thank you. Yes. Been in it since 1996, except for a couple years right after the crash. And like I was telling you during the break, I mean, it has been the place that I want to be. Unless I'm going to be able to play professional sports, and I'm a little old for that now, the only thing it just continues to drive me. It's where I'm interested. If I tried to think of something else, it just doesn't show the interest.
Here's something I don't think I've ever talked about. Are there programs available if someone likes the location of a home, but they want to make changes to the home before they move in?
Yes, and that is especially in today's market where there is such an undersupply of homes.
Wow, I wish I would have known that because I hated a lot of things about the house I got.
Absolutely. You can now go in and find the house that you like in the location.
Peach carpeting had to go,
There you go. Yes, the avocado coloring and all of that. Yes, there's a 203K program, FHA, that allows you to go in, whether it's small changes or even large changes to the home, to allow that to make the home of your dreams. If the school system works for you where you want to live, it's close to work, you like shopping, you can go in and make that old, downbeaten home the home you want.
Wow.
And make it perfect for you. Make the new home out of an old home for you.
602-510-6297. Check him out. It is Bradley Tate mortgagelender.com. So let's talk about this too. Everybody's got to get pre-qualified. You're not going to get into anyone's car. They're not going to talk to you. No realtor really wants to talk to you unless they know where you stand.
No, I agree. In fact, I'm not even sure why a realtor would want to do that. They might be showing a borrower a home they simply can't afford. Or they might be, because they're afraid of it, wasting their time. Or they might be predetermining what they think that buyer might qualify for and be showing them homes that simply don't live up to where they want to be. Maybe it's a home that's too small.
What's the difference of working with a mortgage broker, such as yourself, or a banker?
Great question. And I have played both sides of that fence. I've been a banker, I've been a broker. Benefits to both. But for me, when I'm talking to clients, the best thing I can do is be a broker because I have multiple banks that I can shop that loan to. I'm able to get them lower rates and fees. I'm also going to be able to get programs I simply didn't have available at the mortgage bankers that I work for. So you're going to be getting the best rates for you, generally lower costs, and somebody that's working for you and not specifically for one bank.
Right, I mean, it's important, and sometimes things just make sense, right? It just makes sense to give you that call, find out where you stand, right? Better to have somebody that can shop that loan for you as opposed to gonna work for that. They only have one, right,
Yep.
basically. So, what would you rather? That's just a gambling thing, right? So how many,
I have more than 50 lenders for conventional FHA and VA loans alone. So I can go out and find the best service, best turn times, best rates, lowest fees, and be able to help the borrower get into that home, maybe be able to afford more home than they might have when I was working for that one bank selling one rate.
how long does it take for a home to close?
It really depends, but anymore, I can close loans with Nexa Mortgage and a number of our lenders. We can close loans in 30 days or less.
You know, it would be really nice if all of those happen like that. But
Wouldn't it?
here's the thing, everybody does have a story, and there's a lot of things that go in place when you're buying a home. The first thing that you can do to make your life simpler is, if you're even thinking about something like this, and certainly don't just look at your credit score and say, oh, there's no way. Have that conversation with Brad and find out, where do I stand? Maybe you might be able to get in and you don't even know it.
Exactly. In fact, like we were talking about, if there are people that may have issues with their credit score that can be fixed over a short period of time, 30 days, 60, 90 days. And if they're looking and depressed at only just the number, and haven't talked to somebody that's got the professional ability to coach them through improving their credit scores, maybe they're holding themselves back from finding that home that's going to be happier for them, their family, their whole situation.
So right now, with the market as crazy as it is, and these houses going, do you have a favorite area for you right now that's going on? Or, is there anything happening in that world, the other side of it, that people should know about?
Well, there are areas of town that, let's be honest, that we're all wanting to do business in, but it's highly competitive. I tend to work mostly with people on the west side and southwest side, and moving toward the southeast valley.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly it's always great to help people in Scottsdale. It's always great to help people in Tempe and Chandler. But the west side, I live there. I know the west side. The people are they're just easy people to work with. And
Mm-hmm.
if they can follow advice on the documentation that we need, we can make this loan process a very easy process for them to get through.
Well, here's another thing about the areas are so changing. Even we're at the station, they're doing work here all day long, but there's so much going on that people don't think about certain areas,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
But they need to look at them because they're just up and coming.
Right. As you say, right around the studio itself, the changes that have been made here over the past 20 years are beautiful to see. Places like Arcadia, which had been old and now are becoming very high-end, very desirable places because they are so center-centric to town, where you can get to everything in a moment's, practically in a moment's notice. The freedom to be out on the west side, where you've got more room. The southeast valley, where a lot of industry is coming in, so you can be close to work. There's just so much going on that it's great to see.
It's a wonderful market. It's crazy, but it's wonderful at the
It
same
is.
time. You really need to speak to a professional, and Brad has been doing it for how long?
I've been
Almost
doing this for over 20 years, except for that short break in
But
one fashion or
20
another.
years of experience, and he really can help you, especially if you don't know where your credit score is or what it is, where they can help you find out what they can do to make you right. Just raise that just a little bit so that you can get into the home of your dream. Maybe you're an investor. If you're a VA in the VA, if you're a teacher, if you are a first responder, please give him a call, 602-510-6297.